In a move that has sent shockwaves through the U.S. auto industry, Jeep has just announced massive, unprecedented price cuts. And we're not talking about a few $100s off. We're talking about jaw-dropping, up to 35% discounts across some of Jeep's most iconic vehicles. From the off-road King Wrangler to the stylish Compass and family-ready Grand Cherokee, dealers are slashing thousands off sticker prices to move metal fast. But why now? Why would one of America's most recognizable brands, a symbol of adventure, power, and rugged freedom, suddenly drop prices like this? Are we witnessing a desperate bid to stay competitive, or is Jeep trying to quietly dig itself out of a deeper crisis? This is more than just a sale, it's a strategic bombshell. So buckle up, because what's unfolding might just mark the beginning of a seismic shift in the entire American car market. Across Jeep dealerships nationwide, buyers are waking up to an unexpected and massive price drop, and this isn't some clickbait gimmick. Depending on the model and location, Jeep is cutting prices by $6,000, $10,000, even $18,000 on new vehicles, including 2024 models. That translates to 25 to 35% off MSRP in many cases, a figure that would have seemed unimaginable just a year ago. In places like Texas, Michigan, and California, Wranglers are being advertised for thousands below invoice. The Gladiator pickup, which has struggled to find consistent demand, is seeing some of the steepest discounts. Even the luxurious Grand Wagoneer, which was once considered Jeep's flagship luxury SUV, is now sitting on lots with markdowns of $12,000 or more. These are not manufacturer incentives alone. Dealers are cutting deep into their own margins just to move inventory. Some are even bundling cash rebates with 0% APR financing and additional loyalty discounts. And this isn't just limited to a few struggling models. This is a brand-wide markdown tsunami, and industry insiders are calling it the biggest Jeep fire sale in decades. There's no single reason behind Jeep's aggressive pricing cuts. Rather, it's a perfect storm of economic, strategic, and competitive pressures that are forcing the brand into what looks like a panic-driven correction. First, sales are down, and inventory is way up. In 2024, Jeep's U.S. sales declined by over 10% year-over-year, with particularly sharp drops in entry-level models like the Renegade and Compass. Dealers are sitting on month after month of unsold vehicles, and with the 2025 lineup just around the corner, that inventory is quickly turning into a liability. Second, Jeep's attempt to modernize its fleet with electrified powertrains, such as the Wrangler 4xe and Grand Cherokee 4xe plug-in hybrids, hasn't delivered the expected results. Traditional Jeep buyers often favor reliability and simplicity over complex hybrid tech, while EV shoppers tend to gravitate toward more futuristic brands like Tesla or Rivian. Jeep's image, rugged, mechanical, raw, doesn't align cleanly with electrification, and the mixed message may be confusing potential buyers. Third, and perhaps most importantly, the competition is absolutely ruthless. Toyota, Hyundai, Subaru, and even Ford have launched more reliable, fuel-efficient, and tech-laden crossovers and SUVs that undercut Jeep on price while over-delivering on value. Add to that high interest rates, economic uncertainty, and cautious consumer behavior, and Jeep's once bulletproof brand equity is now being stress-tested like never before. If you've ever wanted to own a Jeep, this might be the single best time in more than 15 years to make that dream come true. A Wrangler with a $55,000 MSRP might now be on offer for as low as $37,000 in some states. A family-sized Grand Cherokee L that once sat firmly in the $60,000 plus range could be had for under $45,000, new, not used. These price cuts bring Jeep models into Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4 territory, which dramatically shifts the value proposition in Jeep's favor. For off-road enthusiasts, buyers who want a fun second car, or those simply hunting for a rugged SUV with modern tech, this is a rare opportunity to get more bang for your buck. However, there's also a note of caution here. Resale values may suffer as Jeep floods the market with discounted units. And if this is the beginning of a larger brand decline, you could find yourself owning a vehicle from a company forced to retrench, restructure, or even pull certain models entirely from the market. So while the deals are mouth-watering, buyers need to weigh them against the long-term brand outlook, reliability records, and resale considerations. But in the short term, it's a buyer's market, and Jeep is waving the white flag that Jeep's dramatic price cuts don't exist in a vacuum. They are part of a larger pattern playing out across the American auto industry as automakers grapple with rising interest rates, consumer debt fatigue, and a brutal price war driven by global competition. Ram, Jeep's sibling brand under Stellantis, is also slashing prices on trucks like the 1500 and TRX. Ford has cut pricing on the F-150 and Mustang Mach-E. GM is trimming the cost of Silverados and Tahoes. Even Tesla, the ultimate disruptor, has had to discount multiple models to stay competitive. What we're witnessing is a collapse of the post-COVID pricing bubble that saw new vehicles skyrocket in value due to chip shortages and supply chain chaos. Now, the pendulum is swinging back hard. Dealers are overstocked. Consumers are cautious. Incentives are back with a vengeance. And legacy brands like Jeep, once seen as untouchable, are being forced to confront their vulnerabilities. This Jeep fire sale may be the clearest signal yet that the U.S. auto industry is entering a period of major correction, one that will leave winners, losers, and a totally reshaped pricing landscape in its wake. So here we are. Jeep, the iconic American brand that's symbolized rugged independence for decades, has hit the panic button. And while the consumer in you may be thrilled about these 35% markdowns, the analyst in you should be asking, why now, and what happens next? Are these deep discounts a temporary fix for a brand caught in transition, or the beginning of something far more serious for Jeep and its parent company Stellantis? If you're thinking of buying, this might be the best deal you'll ever see on a new Jeep. But if you're watching from the sidelines, it's also worth asking, how will this impact the broader SUV and off-road vehicle market? Will prices across the board begin to tumble? Is this the beginning of the great auto price reset of 2025? Stay tuned and buckle up. The road ahead looks bumpy. Behind the scenes, Jeep dealerships are sounding the alarm. For months, many local dealers have been sitting on bloated inventory, watching floor plan interest rates, the loans they take out to finance inventory, rise and consumer foot traffic fall. The average new car now sits on the lot for over 90 days, and for Jeep dealers, that number is climbing. Many dealers, especially in rural and suburban areas, are sitting on massive stockpiles of Wranglers, Gladiators, and Grand Cherokees that simply aren't moving, despite flashy advertising and aggressive financing. This is why we're now seeing dealer-initiated discounting, something Jeep Corporate has historically resisted. Desperation breeds flexibility. Some dealers have started offering unofficial rebates, added accessories at no charge, employee pricing to the public, and trade-in overvaluation just to make a deal. There are even reports of dealerships bundling free maintenance packages, off-road packages, or cash cards to sweeten the pot. This wave of dealership panic reflects a deeper structural problem. Jeep, once a brand that sold on name recognition alone, is no longer selling itself. Zooming out, Jeep's struggles are not isolated. They are part of a much bigger Stellantis identity crisis. The parent company of Jeep, Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, and others, Stellantis is facing turbulence in nearly every corner of its North American operations. Dodge is phasing out its iconic gas-powered muscle cars in favor of EVs that haven't launched. Yet, Chrysler is clinging to relevance with aging minivans. Ram is seeing increased competition from Ford and GM. And Jeep, which was once considered the crown jewel of the portfolio, is now becoming a liability rather than an asset. Analysts are questioning whether Stellantis has spread itself too thin, launching half-hearted electrification strategies while alienating core buyers. The company's EV lineup is delayed, its dealer network is strained, and internal brand overlap is becoming a problem. Jeep's price cuts could be interpreted as an early symptom of Stellantis losing control of its American empire, and unless bold changes are made, this price war could spiral into a brand erosion spiral from which some of these iconic names may not recover. At its core, Jeep has always stood for freedom, adventure, ruggedness, and American spirit. From the battlefields of World War II to the backroads of modern America, the brand built its legacy on go anywhere, do anything toughness. But in recent years, that message has been muddled. The launch of luxury-focused Wagoneers, hybrid powertrains, and street-oriented trims like the Grand Cherokee L have expanded the portfolio but confused the brand's identity. Is Jeep an off-road warrior, a suburban luxury SUV, or a plug-in hybrid crossover company? In trying to be everything to everyone, Jeep may be losing its appeal to its core audience. Longtime Wrangler owners now find the tech-laden interiors distracting or gimmicky. New buyers wonder why Jeep models cost more than comparable Toyotas or Hyundais. Brand dilution is real, and it's happening fast.